Fox ESS has recently announced its new all-in-one battery system called the Fox EVO series, and it looks really good from an initial glance and comes across as a direct competitor to one of the best battery storage systems on the market, the Tesla Powerwall 3. But what are the specs of the Fox EVO? Is it as good technically as it looks on the outside? And is it the battery storage system that you should be installing in your home? In this video, I'm going to go through the Fox EVO and compare it directly spec for spec to the Tesla Powerwall 3. By the end of this video, you'll know all there is to know about the two battery systems and hopefully have a good idea as to which is best for your solar and battery setup. Now, if you don't want to watch the whole video, then feel free to skip through the chapters in the description. Alternatively, we'll be releasing a much shorter version of this video that summarizes the whole topic in 5 minutes. That will be coming out in the next few weeks. To start with, let me briefly introduce you to the two battery brands. What is Fox ESS? Well, Fox is a Chinese battery manufacturer that was founded in 2019 and is headquartered in Wenzhou in China. The company is owned by the Tsingshan Group, which is a huge Chinese mining corporation that is very active in the stainless steel and nickel industries. In 2022, Tsingshan was described as the world's largest nickel producer. The battery brand Fox ESS is Tsingshan's venture into the renewable energy sector, leveraging the parent company's resources and expertise in nickel and stainless steel to deliver advanced solar and energy storage technologies. Tesla, of course, needs no introduction as probably the world's largest clean energy company. Tesla's been working with battery technology since day one and has been directly involved in the home battery industry since the launch of Powerwall 1 in 2015. Spirit Energy has been installing Powerwall since its release, and in 2024 we installed the first Powerwall 3 in the UK and also won an award from Tesla for the quality of our work. Check out our video playlist on Powerwall 3 to learn all about it in more detail. While Tesla's publicly traded and based in the USA, Tsingshan is actually a private company and is wholly owned by a man called Zhang Guangde, who founded the company in 1988. Tsingshan is a private entity, although there are a number of reports indicating that the Chinese government provided substantial backing to Tsingshan during the nickel market crisis in 2022, so it might not be a completely private company anymore, I don't know. Both Tesla and Tsingshan are Fortune 500 companies. Okay, on to the actual products. Let's start by looking at the capacity of the two batteries as well as their expandability. The Fox ESS EVO 10 is a 10.24 kWh battery system with a 95% depth of discharge. So you get 9.728 kWh of usable capacity. They've left a 5% margin in there that can't be used to help ensure the longevity of the battery and protect it against being cycled too heavily. Powerwall 3's capacity is around 15 kWh with a usable capacity of 13.5 kWh. Tesla has left a 10% margin in there that can't be cycled to help protect the battery. Both of the battery systems use LFP technology. If you want more than one battery, then both systems can be expanded quite effectively. You can have up to 3 Fox ESS EVO systems installed on one electricity supply, meaning that the system can be expanded to give you up to 29.184 kWh of total storage capacity. The Tesla system can be scaled to a much larger size. You can have up to 4 Powerwall 3s on a single supply. Then, with each Powerwall 3, you can add on what's called a Tesla expansion pack. These expansion packs are also 13.5 kWh units, and you can have up to 3 on each Powerwall, meaning that if you do decide to max out the system, you can have up to 216 kWh of storage on a single supply. If you'd like to see a case study where we installed 19 Tesla Powerwalls at one site, then check out a preview of the video on screen now that will be coming out soon. In this case, we did install the full 216 kWh of storage on one supply in the manor house. Moving on to the inverter and the charge and discharge rates. Powerwall 3 has an 11.04 kilowatt hybrid inverter with 3 solar string inputs, or MPPTs. It can accept up to 20 kilowatts of DC solar input across all 3 MPPTs. The Powerwall inverter can also be downrated in the software in the event that you get an unfavorable DNO restriction. If the DNO do restrict you, then the inverter can be throttled down and set to any of 3.68, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 kilowatts without any of the hardware needing to be changed. As is the case with all of the latest battery systems, the Fox EVO has an integrated hybrid inverter that can manage both the solar and the battery like the Powerwall 3. Now, at the time of making this video, there are actually 3 different models of the Fox EVO available in the UK. They're all 10.24 kilowatt hour battery systems, but there are 3 different inverter sizes available: a 5 kilowatt, 8 kilowatt and 10 kilowatt. These are separate units. You're either going to buy the 5 or the 8 or the 10. There are additional Fox EVO systems with other inverter ratings on the datasheet, so maybe these will be released in the UK in the near future. This does raise an interesting point with regard to the DNO. If you're restricted by the DNO to say 7 kilowatts, with the Tesla Powerwall, you could install a full Powerwall 3 and the installer would just limit it to 7 kilowatt via the software. With the Fox system, you would have to install the 5 kilowatt EVO to make sure that you're within the DNO restriction. That means that you're leaving excess capacity on the table. Another thing is that the grid is always being upgraded. You may find that if you reapply to the DNO a few years after your initial restriction, that you actually get a better offer as a result of the local infrastructure in your area having been upgraded. Let's say the DNO gives you permission to have 9 kilowatts of inverter capacity, for example. With the Tesla system, you can just ask your installer to remotely uprate the software so that you can take advantage of your increased capacity. With the Fox system, you're going to have to rip out your existing EVO battery and then install another one with a larger inverter rating to enable you to get more out of the system. Something else to note on this topic is that if you do get unlucky with the DNO and are only allowed a total inverter capacity at the site of 8 kilowatts, for example, then with the Fox system, you wouldn't be able to expand it any further than one 10 kilowatt hour battery unit. You could install a 5 kilowatt unit or an 8 kilowatt unit with 10 kilowatt hours of storage, but then you couldn't get any more storage beyond that because the DNO hasn't given you permission to do so. Because the Powerwall expansion packs are all DC coupled, it doesn't matter whether you get restricted by the DNO, you can still install up to 54 kilowatt hours of storage with one Powerwall 3. So those that need a large battery but maybe live in an area with weak grid infrastructure can still get that extra storage without concern. The 5 kilowatt Fox battery has 2 MPPTs and can accept up to 300% solar PV oversizing. So you can feed up to 15 kilowatts of DC into the 5 kilowatt Fox battery. The 8 and 10 kilowatt solutions have 3 MPPTs and can be oversized up to 200%. So the 8 kilowatt Fox can accept up to 16 kilowatts of solar, and the 10 kilowatt can have 20 kilowatts of solar across all the 3 MPPTs. The 2 inverters have very similar MPPT input voltage ranges, meaning that you can generally have between 3 and 12 standard size solar panels such as the ICO NeoStar 3 on one MPPT. Check out our recent video on the NeoStar 3 to learn more about that solar panel. On to charge rates, the Powerwall 3 can discharge at whatever the inverter rating is. So if you have the inverter set to 11.04 kilowatts, then the battery will fully discharge from 100% to 0% in 1 hour and 13 minutes. It can charge at a rate of 5 kilowatts and will take 2 hours and 42 minutes to fully charge from 0%. If you do get an expansion pack, then the charge rating increases up to 8 kilowatts. Watch our full video on the Tesla Powerwall 3 expansion packs to learn more about them. The Fox system can charge and discharge at its inverter rating. So the 10 kilowatt can charge at 10 kilowatts as well as discharge at 10 kilowatts. The 8 kilowatt can charge and discharge at 8 kilowatts, and so on. If you have the 10 kilowatt inverter and your house is drawing 10 kilowatts consistently, it'll take 58 minutes to fully drain one 10.24 kilowatt hour battery from full to 0%. Another feature of these inverters is the load startup capability. Essentially, each inverter has the ability to go beyond its rating for a few seconds to support load startups. Appliances with motors like fridges and air conditioners often need a surge of power to overcome inertia and get the motor going. The Fox system can output up to 20 kilowatts for 10 seconds. Powerwall 3 can output up to 185 locked rotor amps to support load startup. Now, if you're looking for a solar and battery storage system, please do get in touch with Spirit Energy, and our technical designers will provide you with a bespoke technical quotation tailored to your needs and designed to maximize your return from solar and battery storage. Go to spiritenergy.co.uk/installation areas to see if we cover your postcode. Alternatively, if you just want some advice, then give us a call and you'll be put straight through to a technical specialist who will answer any questions that you have, whether you're in our install area or not. Do check out the case study video series we've put together, which takes you through a full Spirit Energy install from the initial inquiry to the design, survey and installation, so that you can see exactly what to expect when you request a quote with us. Both battery systems are also capable of full house power cut protection. Now, this isn't mandatory, and both Powerwall 3 and the Fox EVO can be installed without power cut protection if you don't think you need it. I would say that if you're thinking of getting it at some point in the future, then it's probably best to just fit it at the same time as the rest of the system, as it will be a lot cheaper to do that as opposed to retrofitting it later on. To get back up with the Tesla system, you'll need to install the Tesla Gateway 2. With Fox, you'll need to install something called the single phase backup box to get full 100 amp power cut protection on a single phase supply. Neither of these solutions are rated as UPS, so they're not going to do instant changeover, but in most cases you won't even notice the lights flicker. And with Powerwall 3, we often get reports from our clients that they've had a power cut and not noticed until the app notified them of the outage. Unfortunately, the specs of the Fox single-phase whole home backup box have not been released at the time of making this video, so I can't go into too much detail on it yet, but it will be capable of 100 amp single-phase power cut protection. One of the most important features of a battery storage system is the app and monitoring functionalities that come with it. The Fox EVO can be monitored via the Fox ESS monitoring app called Fox Cloud 2. The homepage of the app shows an overview of the system, including how much the solar is generating, the battery state of charge, the house load, the EV charging load, and whether you're importing from or exporting to the grid. The homepage also shows how self-sufficient the house is for the day, how many kilowatt hours of electricity have been generated from the solar system, and where the solar generation has been used. It also shows you how much money you've saved for the day. If you swipe to the device section, you'll get a more detailed breakdown with graphs detailing the performance history of the system. The app updates every 5 minutes with a snapshot of what the system is generating at the time. You can also set up your tariff in the settings and set certain times to force discharge the battery when it's lucrative to do so. You can also set a minimum state of charge percentage for the battery, as well as a minimum reserve percentage to leave for a power cut. The Powerwall 3 app can do everything that the Fox app can do, as well as a bit more. It's the same Tesla app that you get if you have a Tesla car, and it allows you to monitor the solar, battery grid, and also the Tesla wall connector and Tesla car if you have either of those. You can also go off-grid in the Tesla app, as well as set up something called Stormwatch, which I'll talk more about later. The Tesla app updates in real time, giving you a live view of what your system is generating. The Fox Cloud only updates once every 5 minutes, giving you a snapshot of what the system is generating at the time. The Fox system does provide an online monitoring portal, which you don't get with Powerwall 3. The Tesla app also allows you to change the mode that the Powerwall is set to. Time of use mode will simply work to maximize the amount you're saving throughout the year. If you don't want to save as much money as possible and instead want to maximize your grid independency, the Powerwall can be set to what's called self-consumption mode, where it will prioritize the on-site usage of your solar generation. There are 4 operating modes with the Fox system. Self-use prioritizes the self-consumption of solar generation, much like Tesla's self-consumption mode. Feed-in priority prioritizes selling electricity back to the grid for a profit. Backup prioritizes protection against power outages for those that live in an area with a weak grid. And finally, peak shaving prioritizes reducing consumption during periods when electricity is most expensive. A feature unique to Fox ESS is something called Fox Forest. Essentially, as your system helps to offset carbon emissions, you'll earn credits for every unit of carbon saved. These credits can be saved up and then put towards planting a tree. There are 3 types of trees that can be planted through the Fox Forest scheme, and when you've saved up enough credits, you can pick one and it will be planted in your name. With Powerwall, you do get access to Tesla's API, so those that want to build their own third-party monitoring for the battery can do so. The Tesla API does give you quite a lot of access, but it won't let you do anything that will void the warranty. Fox also has an API so that you can monitor and control the battery through that. If you're someone that would like to build their own monitoring, then I'd recommend checking out the documentation for both systems online. If you are looking at either of these battery systems, then I'd really recommend downloading the Tesla app and the Fox Cloud app. Both of these apps have a demo mode available where you can trial the battery management without even having to create an account. Another key thing to look at is the battery's thermal management. In colder temperatures, about 5 degrees Celsius or below, batteries experience significant performance drop-offs. To combat this, battery manufacturers are building thermal management systems into the battery to help keep the temperature of the cells within an optimal range. The Fox EVO does have one of these systems built into it in the form of heat packs. So Fox says that when the battery cell temperature gets below 5 degrees Celsius, the heat packs will kick in to warm the cells to 10 degrees. Tesla Powerwall 3 has Tesla's industry-leading active thermal management system built in. It uses a fan-forced convection cooling system that will not only heat the cells but also cool them down to try and keep the battery cells operating between 15 and 30 degrees Celsius, which is generally considered optimal for battery performance and longevity. The Powerwall 3 system will monitor the external temperature and weather forecast and preheat or pre-cool the cells accordingly. So the Powerwall won't wait for the temperature to drop to 5 degrees or below to start heating up. It will see the temperature dropping and precondition the cells so that there's no drop in performance. This is really helpful for those looking to put the battery outside, as you can be sure that there won't be performance drops in the winter or overnight when you need to off-peak charge the battery. It will also help keep the battery cell temperature at a good level in summer when it's hotter outside as well. Something that the Fox battery does have is a fire suppression system built into it. The latest Fox battery models are equipped with a thermal aerosol fire extinguishing system. This device activates when the internal temperature reaches 170 degrees Celsius or a flame is detected. The system has been tested to successfully extinguish internal fires within 30 minutes without reignition. Unlike gas-based suppression methods, this aerosol exists in a solid state before deployment and remains contained within the battery enclosure after activation. It's designed to settle within 20 minutes, eliminating the risk of external dispersion. Now, I don't expect that this will stop a full thermal runaway within the battery. However, it could stop a fire if one were to occur outside the cells of the battery. It's worth noting that if the fire suppression system does activate, you will need to replace the battery. It's not going to be usable after the aerosol has kicked in. This brings me on to some other cool and unique features of the two battery systems. The first of which is Tesla's Stormwatch. Stormwatch is a smart feature built into the Tesla Powerwall system that uses real-time weather data to automatically charge the battery to full capacity ahead of severe weather events. The goal is to ensure the Powerwall is fully prepared to provide backup power during a potential grid outage. It was great to see this in action during Storm Dara and Storm Irwin, where we could see our fleet of Powerwalls charging up to keep our clients protected in case of an outage. A feature that the Fox EVO has that the Powerwall doesn't have is actually a small LCD screen. Now this isn't visible day to day, it's hidden behind the magnetic cover on the side of the battery and just shows some of the key information so that the battery can be checked and monitored without any sort of internet connection or third-party device. It shows things like the state of charge percentage, the inverter output voltage, the battery temperature, the daily, monthly and lifetime energy figures, and also an alarm log with date and timestamps. So that's quite helpful for quick maintenance checks. The measurements of the two systems are on screen now. As you can see, they're very similar sizes. The main difference being that the Fox battery is 90mm shorter than the Tesla. They're both very heavy. The Fox EVO is 113 kilograms and Powerwall 3 is 130 kilos. Tesla has provided a dolly to help maneuver the battery and assist with installation, which has been a real game changer for Powerwall installers. Fox doesn't currently have a dolly, so installers will need to lift it manually for now, although they have said that a Tesla-like dolly is going to be coming soon. The Fox EVO has a weather rating of IP66, meaning that it can go outside and is protected against water jets from any direction. It should ideally be placed under a canopy if being installed outside. Powerwall 3 has a weather rating of IP67 and is flood resistant up to 600 millimeters. It doesn't need to be installed with a canopy if going outside, and Tesla has made a video of Powerwall 3 sitting in a fish tank and still operating without issue. Both systems can either be wall mounted or floor mounted. The Fox system comes wall mounted as standard, but you can buy feet to put on the bottom so that it can also rest on the floor. Another point worth covering is Tesla Electric, Tesla's own retail electricity provider. At present, it's only available in the United States, but Tesla has announced plans to expand the service to the UK in the near future. While the original rollout was expected in 2025, it now appears more likely to launch in 2026 or possibly 2027. Tesla Electric will be available to all energy consumers, but it's reasonable to expect that Powerwall customers will receive certain advantages. One of the most promising features is the Virtual Power Plant, or VPP. VPP enables Powerwall 3 owners to join a distributed network of home batteries that can support the grid during periods of high demand. Under normal circumstances, your Powerwall will function just as it always does. However, when VPP is active and the grid is under strain, Tesla may dispatch the network of Powerwalls in your region to help stabilize supply and avoid outages. Importantly, the Powerwall 3 will not discharge below your set backup reserve level, meaning your home will remain protected in the event of a power cut during a VPP event. In regions where VPP schemes are already active, such as California and South Australia, participating Powerwall owners have been earning between £300 and £400 annually for their contribution. There are other VPPs available, and Octopus offers one that is accessible to those with battery storage that are signed up to one of Octopus Energy's smart tariffs. Both batteries come with a comprehensive warranty. Tesla's is widely regarded as one of the best and most comprehensive battery warranties in the industry. The warranty is simply 80% retained capacity after 10 years with unlimited cycles. This means that you're guaranteed at least 10.8 kilowatt hours of usable storage capacity after 10 years. By comparison, Fox ESS offers a 12-year warranty for the new EVO and guarantees that the battery will have retained 70% capacity after 12 years. So this isn't quite as good as the Tesla warranty in terms of retained capacity. However, you do have the peace of mind that the battery will be covered for a longer period of time. To be eligible for the 12-year warranty, the battery needs to be registered through the Fox ESS website. If it's not, then the warranty is only 10 years. So finally, the big one. How much do these two all-in-one battery systems cost? Well, Powerwall 3 costs in the region of £7,000 to £7,500 fully installed without the gateway, depending on the ease of installation. So split the difference and Powerwall 3 works out to about £537 per kilowatt hour of storage. The 10 kilowatt hour Fox EVO with a 10 kilowatt inverter will likely cost between £5,500 and £6,000 fully installed without the gateway. So the Fox EVO 10 works out to about £580 per kilowatt hour of usable capacity. Getting the most out of your battery storage investment is all about storing cheap electricity to offset a higher rate of electricity further on in the day. So your cost per kilowatt hour of storage is a key factor to that investment. So that's how the 10 kilowatt Fox stacks up to Powerwall 3. But how do the cheaper 5 and 8 kilowatt models compare in terms of price? The 8 kilowatt Fox EVO will cost around £5,500 fully installed, and the 5 kilowatt will cost around £5,200 fully installed. So about £550 per kilowatt hour and about £520 per kilowatt hour without the gateway. So the 8 kilowatt is also slightly less cost effective than Powerwall 3 in terms of pure storage. but the 5 kilowatt is slightly cheaper per kilowatt hour and does beat the Powerwall 3 there. However, remember that you're then only getting 2 MPPTs and a 5 kilowatt inverter, whereas with Powerwall 3 you're getting 11.04 kilowatts and 3 MPPTs. So ultimately it all comes down to what you need for your individual circumstances. At the time of writing this video, I don't have pricing information for the Fox single-phase backup box, so I can't give you an indication of prices when installed with power cut protection. The Powerwall 3 system costs around £500 more when installed with the gateway. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful. As with all these battery systems, there are benefits and drawbacks to each. I'm not going to draw any conclusions in this video, but I'll leave the comparison table on screen now so that you can make your own decision. As with everything, it really comes down to what you're looking for from your home battery system, and I'm confident that both of these solutions are really great batteries. Do get in touch with Spirit Energy if you'd like a quote for your solar and battery system, and please take a look at our other videos to compare the various battery storage systems and learn about all things solar and battery in the UK.